don't know why we don't start vetting these Olympians before they actually start to represent us overseas for their patriotism. My friend at the Federalist,
Yeah.
Sean Davies, he wrote this article, not Sean Davies, Sean Fleetwood, he wrote this great article. He said the patriotic thing to do is actually to root against these unpatriotic Olympians because they're going out bashing us. Why should we cheer for them? Why should we want them to win?
Well, this is just flat out insane. The woman speaking is Evita Duffy.
What did Donald Trump do that should impeach him? Bob Mueller said, I'm not going to refer any charges to the Congress. He did. He could have referred 11 charges to the Congress. So Mueller didn't refer any, and you're going to impeach him for what crime? Well, what did he do wrong that you should impeach him for? He's grown the economy. He's put my people back to work in Wisconsin.
Congressman.
They have higher wages, lower unemployment. We're killing it in Wisconsin.
Okay.
You want to impeach that guy?
Okay, Congressman, first of all, those are distinct things, as you would concede. Obviously, the growth rate doesn't pertain to whether a president commits high crimes and misdemeanors. Bill Clinton had a high growth rate, and I don't know what Andrew Johnson's or Richard Nixon's was, but obviously those are distinct entities, as you would concede, correct?
Well, I would concede the point that...
Thank you.
The daughter of former congressman and current transportation secretary Sean Duffy. She'd go off some more.
Bad Bunny, he was explicitly, through his rhetoric, also through his music, through the flags, they are expressing a political ideology that the idea of borders, of sovereignty, of American cultural identity is somehow bad and hateful. That was the purpose. And you and everybody at Turning Point, through the vision of Charlie, offered an alternative. You have the foreign flags, you have the foreign language. It's totally open borders. It's multiculturalism. It's the idea, diversity is our strength. And it's so key to understand, they want to celebrate and respect the cultural diversity of every single peoples across the globe, right? Everyone. And we're going to celebrate them all. We're going to respect them all, except for the one right here. The one right here, they completely disrespect and they do it. They did it on full display yesterday by erasing American cultural identity and refusing to platform it on our civic experience. This is a day of a celebration of America. That's what the Super Bowl and the halftime show is supposed to be. They purposely did not celebrate America because they hate America, because they want to erase America. That is why this diversity is our strength, multiculturalism halftime show was actually a humiliation ritual and a spit in the face of all of the fans and Americans everywhere.
Blatant miscalculations made internally here on what she saw, but I digress. In that first clip, they were hyper-focused on American figure skater Amber Glenn. And the reason was because she fell short in one event. Amber Glenn is a former champion. And the conservatives would rail on her because she said this.
Yeah, it's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before, and because of that, it's made us a lot stronger. I hope I can use my platform and my voice throughout these games to try and encourage people to stay strong in these hard times. I know that a lot of people say, you're just an athlete, like stick to your job, shut up about politics, but politics affect us all. It is something that I will not just be quiet about because it is something that affects us in our everyday lives. So, of course, there are things that I disagree with, but as a community, we are strong and we support each other, and brighter days are ahead of us.
Thus, let's go further. Time breaks it down. Glenn was only one of two skaters to land a triple axel in the women's short program on February 17th. Normally, that would be enough to put her within shouting distance of a medal. Skating to Madonna's Like a Prayer, Glenn then performed her triple jump combo. But during her flying sit spin, she said after practice the following day, she tapped down on my spin, which I never do. That put her off balance. My core wasn't stable, and I was a little bit noodly, she said. Entering her triple loop jump, she was forced to pop it and completed only 2 revolutions. Furthermore, in the short program, such a mistake is costly. Skaters in the women's event are required to execute a set number of elements or skills, and a triple jump is one of them. By performing only a double, Glenn received no points for that skill. Of course, what outlets like Newsmax and others would fail to mention is this. Glenn already has a gold medal as part of Team USA. What this boils down to, let's be clear about it, is control. The Trump administration and even Duffy herself would not support such a practice because let's just be objective about this. If you were to put forth the MAGA American Olympians, all right, it would be akin, it would be akin to the Turning Point USA halftime show compared to the Super Bowl halftime show. If you know, you know. There would be, if you put together the Donald Trump supporting Americans on the Olympics, you'd have less medals. Let's be straight up about it. The Trump administration is all about winning, right? Would you intentionally put forth a losing squad throughout? Like, do you have a checklist that says, yeah, we saw this social media post that went against Donald Trump. Hey, you're banned. Hey, we saw that you said J.D. Vance wears guy liner. Yeah, you're banned. We saw, nothing wrong with that, by the way, just own it. We saw that you critiqued Kristi Noem about shooting a puppy. Yeah, you're banned. Sorry. Can't happen. Oh, Alligator Alcatraz. We saw that you gave an interview that stated, hey, where did all the people go? Nope, sorry, can't do it. What this shows once more is the entire hypocritical nature of this keep politics out of sports, when really for them, it is unless we like it. We saw that with Colin Kaepernick, and we have seen it with athletes of yesteryears. And we will see it once again. Even though LeBron James gave some weird quotes, we saw them attacking LeBron because he decided to speak up against police brutality and systemic racism. And he took a knee. But who did they lift up? Jonathan Isaac, who stood. And he, I believe, had a book out with the Daily Wire. All be told, right? What this basically says is, you must be a Trump-supporting American or else you're not going to compete for us. It's just stupid. But also, like, what in the North Korea is she saying here?
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
they talked about that yesterday.
I would have him. Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Mm-hmm. Don't let anyone think anything different. Right. He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
Well, just before you met with him, he cleaned house. 3 of his top generals, some of the hardliners, he fired. Then you go over there, and you took some heat over saluting one of the generals.
I think he fired at least. Okay, when you say he
3
fired,
that we know of.
I think maybe fired at least. Fired may be a nice word.
The quote, of course, that stands out is this as well. She'd cite the Federalist, Sean Fleetwood. Federalist Society, awful. But Fleetwood would write. He said the patriotic thing to do is actually to root against these unpatriotic Olympians because they're going out bashing us. Why should we cheer for them? Why should we want them to win? It's absurd. I thought you guys were America first. This is going against that exact principle. If you want America to be great in every single area, you root for Americans. This is deeply unpatriotic to be saying such blasphemy like this on cable news. One user commented above Evita's words saying this, objectively stupid. Athletes can criticize whoever they want. You can disagree with them and say you don't like it. It's a free country. Grow up. Amen. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.